Right up there with Catalyst, Star Wars Thrawn by Timothy Zahn is among my favorite new canon novels. The novel added some amazing new insights into not just the character of Grand Admiral Thrawn, but also for the Star Wars universe in general. Therefore, I thought that I'd give my top 5 moments and reveals from the novel Thrawn. First on my list of top 5 moments and reveals from the novel is the interaction between Arinda Pryce, who of course would go on to become Governor Pryce by the time of the Rebels TV series, and Grand Moff Tarkin. The addition of Pryce in the novel, and the story of her rise to become the governor of Lothal, was an unexpected one for me. As much as I was into the main story of Thrawn and his protege Eli Vanto, and their rise through the ranks of the Empire, I greatly enjoyed Pryce in this novel. She became someone who would do anything it took to obtain the power and position she sought on Lothal, including egregious acts of deception and violence. Naturally then, she would at some point come into contact with Grand Moff Tarkin. The scene with Pryce and Tarkin was perfect in my opinion. Tarkin is one of my favorite characters to read when done really well, and I have to say that Timothy Zahn nailed it with Tarkin in this novel. As much as I've enjoyed James Luceno's excellent portrayals of Tarkin recently, in the novels Tarkin and Catalyst, Zahn's Tarkin in Thrawn is probably my favorite. In Pryce's scene with Tarkin, the Grand Moff is basically taken straight out of A New Hope and put into the novel, in all his smugness, wit, and command. But Pryce is just as equally crafty in the scene, as she's able to adequately convince the Grand Moff that she's a worthy ally, thereby vaulting the relatively unknown Pryce straight into the position of Governor of Lothal. The back and forth between Pryce and Tarkin was certainly one of my favorite moments in Thrawn. At number 4 on my list is the amazing reveal that Thrawn had met Anakin Skywalker at some point during the Clone War. Even better, the reveal was made by Thrawn during his first conversation with Emperor Palpatine, informing the Emperor that Anakin would be able to confirm that his vow to serve the Empire faithfully could be trusted. This, along with the fact that Thrawn confirmed to the Emperor that Anakin had always spoken highly of Palpatine when he was Chancellor of the Republic, demonstrates that Thrawn had a prolonged interaction with Anakin, and their meeting wasn't just a short and fleeting moment. Although we didn't learn any details of Thrawn's conversations with Anakin, the reveal was a fascinating one that could open the door to further reveals in later materials, particularly since the Emperor confirmed that he and Anakin had also discussed Thrawn at some point following the Jedi's interaction with the Chiss. For example, since we also saw Thrawn finally meet Darth Vader very briefly at the end of the novel, one has to wonder if Thrawn will be able to put the pieces together and conclude that Vader is in fact Anakin. This would not be a stretch, as we've seen Tarkin come to conclude the same thing, based solely on his interactions with the two characters, and his incredible deductive reasoning, which Thrawn is also highly capable of. Either way, the stage is certainly set to see what important connections Thrawn's interaction with Anakin will have on the Grand Admiral, either in the upcoming season of Rebels or other material. It's always a lot of fun to see two important characters come together unexpectedly like this, so the reveal that Thrawn met Anakin prior to his fall to become Vader was a great one. In the third spot on our list of top reveals and moments from Thrawn is the moment where Thrawn questions the Emperor about the Death Star, revealing that the Grand Admiral was able to independently uncover not just the name of the battle station, but also its relative size and power. The best part of this reveal is that Thrawn's ability to discover information about the Death Star surprised even the Emperor, who was taken aback by Thrawn's knowledge, asking him when and how he learned about the project. The reveal wasn't just interesting because it further demonstrated Thrawn's tactical genius and his ability to piece together smaller segments of information to uncover a larger picture, but also because it demonstrated that Thrawn is worried about the intentions of the Empire, and what they might do with a weapon that is so potentially dangerous. Thrawn's worry regarding the Death Star could be the catalyst for driving him away from the Empire altogether. As he told his nemesis Nightswan, if the Death Star project turned out to represent a threat to his people, the Chiss, he would have to come to rethink his allegiance to the Empire. Therefore, the reveal that Thrawn was able to deduce the general attributes of the Death Star could create important consequences for Thrawn when he chooses to leave the Empire, having come to see it as the bigger risk to the safety of the galaxy. In the penultimate spot on our list is the reveal of the reasons for why Thrawn, who was originally from the Unknown Regions and part of the Chiss Ascendancy, joined the Empire. Although it was originally presented as though Thrawn had been exiled by the Chiss, this was merely a crafted ruse, as Thrawn's decision to join the Empire was ultimately based upon the fact that he wanted to protect the Chiss. Thrawn was intimately worried about the evil and dangerous threat that lay within the unknown regions of the galaxy, and the consequences that this threat presented to the Chiss. Having watched the events that transpired throughout the Clone War from the edges of the unknown regions, and learning that the Empire had risen to replace the Republic, Thrawn realized that he had two options. First, ally with the Empire against the evil in the unknown regions if it proved itself worthy, or second, to cripple the Empire to push the threats within the unknown regions to attack the Empire before attacking the Chiss, thereby giving the Chiss more time to learn how to defeat them. Ultimately, having learned about the military and political structure of the Empire through his journey to become a Grand Admiral, Thrawn concluded that the Empire was worthy of being an ally, and therefore joined the Empire to try to do what he could to protect it from being weakened by outside threats, such as the rebels. This was a great reveal, since it not only gave Thrawn a perfectly valid reason in joining the Empire, that is, he viewed the threats within the unknown regions as the more significant evil and danger, but it also demonstrates that Thrawn is still loyal to the Chiss. As seen within the previously mentioned reveal regarding Thrawn's concern about the Death Star, his loyalty to the Chiss could cause Thrawn to ultimately leave the Empire if he ever thought that it was a more significant threat than those within the unknown regions. Either way, I found the reasons that Zahn provided in the novel for Thrawn's alliance with the Empire to be both reasonable and very well done. And finally, my favorite reveal and moment from the novel Thrawn was the reveal that Thrawn's protege, Eli Vanto, left the Empire and joined the Chiss Ascendancy at the behest of Thrawn, who believed Eli could be of some use to the Chiss. Even better, Eli was in possession of Thrawn's personal journal, which we were able to see entries from at the start of every new chapter. To say the least, this reveal blew me away, as it immediately created a number of new interesting questions. Why did Thrawn send Eli to the Chiss? Will Thrawn also leave the Empire and return to the unknown regions? Was Thrawn already dead by this point? And if so, how did it happen? Why did Thrawn give Eli his journal? What problems did Thrawn believe Eli could help the Chiss solve? The relationship that was built between Thrawn and Eli was one of my favorite elements of the novel, so to see Eli take what he learned throughout his time with Thrawn and use it to potentially help the Chiss was amazing. Also, I'm hoping that this ending to the novel leads to some other exciting content that depicts Eli, and hopefully Thrawn too, fighting against the dangers within the unknown regions, which was alluded to so heavily throughout the novel. Given that we know Thrawn doesn't appear within the canon once we enter into the time period of A New Hope, this reveal could be a great way to have Thrawn ultimately leave the Empire and rejoin the Chiss by the time of the original trilogy. So those are my top 5 reveals and moments from the novel Star Wars Thrawn by Timothy Zahn. I would be happy to hear and discuss what your favorite parts of the novel were in the comments section below. Have a great day everyone, and I look forward to talking with you all again soon.